Rugby League is back.
Drum roll, please.
You're a true Warriors fan.
I have no recollection of that hot take.
We don't all have to agree.
It's good to be back.
They're just a really boring team.
Oh, partner.
Start winning some games.
I think there'll be a lot of changes to the team.
I've got them making the 8 for mine.
Let's go. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Advantage Line, TAB's Rugby League betting podcast. My name is Cal Tiley. That is Paul Mawate. Paul, grand final week, mate. We made it.
How good? Yeah.
How good?
Yeah. And, of course, the WAS, New South Wales Cup team, the champions of the New South Wales Cup, will be taking on the champions of the Queensland Cup, the Burleigh Bears. And the WAS should be very, very... they're favourites.
Huge. We've turned it into a WAS chat already. 30
Why not?
seconds in. 30 seconds in.
Yeah, love the
And
WAS.
the great man Nick Tedeschi is a
look at him.
disbelief.
Oh my God, if I was at journalism school, if I haven't bothered to go to journalism school, the first thing they'll tell you is lead with the top story. I'll give you what, the WAS playing the Burleigh Bears, you're about 48th on the list. That cheers for ruining the opener, Paul. We've lost 75% of the audience from the get-go. What a ridiculous way to start a grand final podcast. You can't even bet on it. It's a betting podcast, Paul.
It wouldn't be the Advantage Line without being derailed 34 seconds
There
into
we
the
go.
show.
Up the WAS.
And the one man that can save us, the great man Blake Ashford. How are you, Ash?
How are we, fellas? It's good to be back. It's been it feels like a eternity, but 2 weeks in the bin. It's feels good to be back. Are we not? Will there be no markets for the New South Wales Cup?
Not allowed to bet on it.
Nope.
And, well, at least in Australia, not allowed to bet on it. So that's the PVL directive. He's done a lot right for the game, but not betting on that's not one of them. Always one of the great fill-ups of all time in Surge's Quietly. The New South Wales Cup team is nearly always just smash the minus and they win by 50. But unfortunately, we're not going to get to do that with the Warriors.
I would like to just, Blake, give you here a quick shout-out. Still looking very Street Fighter-like. Still looking very strong, even after 2 weeks out.
That's kid and play. I love it.
Yeah. No, it's coming back very fast, and I probably won't see a Barber again for, let's say, another 20 years. We'll just let it run.
Teddy hasn't seen a barber for 1 week. Have a look.
Well, you know what? I've got a lot going wrong, Paul, but a head of hair is not one of them. So we're airborne. I often get. I went to Turkey not long ago and got asked, well, "Yeah, you're going for a hair transplant?" I am actually. I'm going to donate. Get some of the back and shoulder hair off.
What about the berry beef? Gives us a smile. Do you know how to smile? Are they turkey teeth? Are they real teeth?
I don't like to smile, Carl, but it puts you in a very uncomfortable position. And I don't want to be asked to do that ever again.
All right. Show opener this week, fellas. We're going to quick look at the Dally M's. Nominations came out last week for the Dally M's.
Weekend.
On the weekend. I'm going to go through each position. We have a very quick discussion and select our positional winner for each, and then an overall.
Yeah.
Men and women?
No, I've just got the men here. Well, look, you can rattle off your
Teddy's got his team.
I've got my team. I do.
Yeah. This is.
I like to treat everyone equal.
There's not. Don't do this. You try and do this every year. Don't.
It's a tradition now.
At fullback, nominations: Kyle Wiggs, James Tedesco, Reece Walsh. I'm going to assume we're all on the same one here.
Who cares who the other two nominations are? It's Tedesco by a mile.
Yeah, not to be confused with Tedeschi.
No.
May have snuck up as the sneaky Dally M medal winner of the Advantage Line podcast this year.
Even if I do nominate myself.
No, I'm just referring to the betting stats there, Paul.
That's not over yet. Wingers: Marky Mark Nwakanitawasi, Xavier Savage, Jacob Carraz, Zach Lomax, and Xavier Coates. How the hell is Zach Lomax in this list?
He's not the best winger on his team.
No, Josh Adokar could be ahead of him. Where's RTS?
Where is RTS? That's
Yeah,
the
that was a disgrace. No RTS. Like seriously, Zach Lomax is, and how's Zach Lomax had a better year than Daniel Tupou as well?
Yeah.
Like a couple of outrageous non-selections there. And look, there may have been some suspensions. Like trying to find a full list of suspended players who aren't eligible is one of the most difficult tasks you'll ever face on the face of the earth. But you're more chance of saving of getting peace in Palestine, Ukraine, than you are finding that list. But it is assuming that they're both eligible. How RTS and Daniel Tupou didn't get in ahead of Zach Lomax is remarkable.
Do we know how it's done? Like, is it done? Is it like the top 5 wingers with Dally M points, or
no? But they have a panel.
It just says, "Oh, let's pick 5 out, and we'll get the 2 that are going to win it."
All the voters apparently meet once a month or once every 6 weeks, and put for who they think should be the team of the year, and then they take that over the course of the year. So, yeah, I know, laughable. It's a laughable system, and Zach Lomax, of all the bad decisions that were made there, Zach Lomax had maybe 3 good games this year. His work, when he cracked it after Origin, his work rate went through the floor. No, and led the NRL in errors. So.
Of this list, who are your 2 wingers, Teddy?
Well, I hate to say it. No. I don't really believe it, but the rugby bloke has to be there because the number one job of a winger is to score tries, and he led the try scoring assist. So I will never cop a winger of the year not being one of the top try scorers if the winger scored top tries. Yep. And Xavier Coates just pipping Jacob Carras. I think Carras is a better player. I think Carras has more impact on a game, but I think the Coates high points and some of those tries he scored, there is no better finisher in football than Xavier Coates. So, and again, you go back to is the stuff you do out of your own half, the work rate important? Yes, important, but you're a winger, finish tries, and no one does it better than Coates.
Can't disagree with that.
No, nice and simple.
Yep,
they're my 2.
All right, centre, Casey McLean. I've written Tobbit Toya. It should be Robert Toya here. Herbie Farnworth, Stephen Crichton, Katoni Staggs.
This is tough.
2 centres.
How the best centre in the game this year was left out in Tolutau Kola is a bigger disgrace than the Lomax and RTS issue.
He must have been suspended.
Well, he must have been. I don't remember him being suspended. I googled Tolutau Kola suspended. It didn't come up. But I'm not saying it hasn't happened because he'd have to have been.
The whole suspension thing's... I don't think it's right. Like, you're the best player.
That's only a medal fine, but for the team of the year, it's got irrelevant.
I think that it's got some validity to it, but I just think it has to be more than once. Like, if you get suspended 2 or 3 times,
if you're a grub, sure.
Yeah, if you're a grub, yeah. But like, if one suspension shouldn't rule you out for, and some of the suspensions are pretty poor, but this is the toughest one here, the centres.
I've got for mine, given he got suspended and missed the last part of the year, not suspended, injured, missed the last part of the year, I've got to take Herbie out of this.
No.
Mine.
He's in yours?
He's the one certainty.
Mine. Yeah.
I don't, like, he is the best centre in the game. But
he missed 4 weeks and the Dolphins completely fell apart. To me, he only missed 4 weeks and he fell apart. He definitely put in that.
It was more than 4 weeks, wasn't it?
5, I think.
Yeah, he missed the Warriors games where he hurt himself. So, 4 or 5 over the last bit.
It was the Warrior. Yeah, it feels like that was like 15 weeks ago.
Mate, stick to your guns.
Yeah, you go with your one.
I think Robert Toya for mine, he's got like Origin, big rise, and this is going to be really unpopular, but I like Katoni Staggs as well.
I'll tip your second one's not as unpopular as your first one. Robert Toya. I'd bring Robert Toya. I could bring Robert Toya into the studio right now, and you couldn't identify him.
Just like it says in the intro, we don't all have to agree, Teddy.
And we don't.
And we don't. So you guys have got Herbie.
Yep. And I'm going with Stephen Crichton. And I'll tell you what, if the Bulldogs want to be successful, they really need to manage his workload. This is madness. He is just so good for the Dogs. It's ridiculous, and not just his play and his captaincy as well. But yeah, in terms of the centres, I'm going Farnworth and Crichton.
Managing Stephen Crichton's workload is about 157 on Cameron Ciraldo's priority list, it seems like. So I wouldn't be backing that one anytime soon. Herbie,
Could take his place in the centres every now and then.
Herbie, absolute certainty for mine. And yeah, I thought Kohler was unquestionably the other one who I would put in there, but it wasn't nominated. So of the nominations, Katoni Staggs.
Yep, I got the same as Teddy. I went Herbie. I did look like that, Carl. I looked. I said, how many games did he miss? Only 5. Plus, I remember what he was doing before. And then I went Katoni because I thought actually Katoni had a year where he probably should have been named in the Origin squad, if we're being honest.
Yep.
But yeah, I thought Herbie and Katoni Staggs.
You remember
Can I change to Herbie?
You can't. The movement where he got injured against the Wars, he was off and gone.
Oh, yeah.
He was through the line.
Warriors would have lost that game if he stayed on.
Yeah.
Every Dolphins bet I had just went down in that single moment. The pain on Herbie's face when that was the hamstring went was the same as the pain on my face.
He did score the first game, though. He got a try.
Anyone plays Super Coach, they know how hard it is for a centre to get 50 points. Herbie was on 50 after 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was doing his job.
Okay, I'll bring Herbie back in. 5.
Oh, he's a pitch that. Apparently, we all do have to agree.
I'll shush you again.
Oh, sheepers.
5'8". Cam Munster, Ethan Strange, Matt Burton.
I'm going Ethan
He's
Strange.
Ethan Strange.
Yeah.
Strange, yeah.
Halfback, Cleary, Fogarty, Katoa. It's a 2-horse race for me.
Hated all of these nominations. Thought Jerome Hughes. I thought Jerome Hughes played enough that he should have been there. So I would have had Jerome Hughes there easily. But in the absence of that, I've gone Isaiah Katoa just ahead of Fogarty. I think Cleary's there on name and name alone. I think Cleary was also very average in the first half of the year. Did some amazing stuff to get him there. But Katoa just ahead of Fogarty for me.
This was pretty tough too. I've gone Cleary just as Teddy said. Like, I think he'll win it because of the recency biased. Like Katoa, everyone was talking about Katoa at the start, rightfully so. And then Fogarty steered his team, did the job what any good halfback should do, steered his team perfectly around the park for majority of the season.
G's reputation took a battering in the last couple of weeks, though, which is unfairly or not. The game, the missed kick against Penrith that they weren't winning, and then those 2 finals games have really, whether that has an impact, I don't know, but like it probably impacted my thinking.
Do the finals games count in terms of?
No.
Yeah, so
they shouldn't, but
I just think where Cleary's got them back from as well. He was probably the sole one that stayed in that team the whole time.
You think about they were last on the ladder when Dalian voting went behind closed doors, and then they make it all the way to the prelim. I think Katoa just on consistency across the year. When you're ready.
I'm going to go Cleary. No, actually, no, I'm going to go Fogarty. I'm going Fogarty on the work that he did throughout the year. I think he was the most consistent half out of the 3 that were nominated.
Next one.
The other thing that put me towards Katoa was Fogarty had a fully fit forward pack the entire year to work behind. Katoa had absolutely no one. That pack was decimated.
Dragons, yep.
Katoa will be in these nominations for years to come too.
Here's the thing: I don't even really rate Katoa as high as everyone else. I try not to.
No, I can see the point there, Teddy.
He's one of those players. I do like. He's a great player, but I like the sycophant commentary around him that he's like the next coming Andrew Johns is absolutely ridiculous. Like, he's a very good player.
Yep.
Got a lot of potential. Could be a great player, but he's a long way from that. And I just think everyone needs to calm down a little bit when it comes to Katoa.
Yeah, that is an accurate statement.
Wow.
I think if he was in the Bulldogs this year, they'd probably go on and win the comp.
Yes, I agree. That's all we need is a competent halfback. We don't need someone to be a superstar.
Yeah, but would he get
Don't worry. Gus and Ciraldo probably would have played him at left centre.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Hooker. Api Coruscant, Blake Brayley, Tom Starling.
Easiest one since Tedesco. Blake Brayley had a super year, and I don't think missed a minute. I think he played every minute.
Hasn't he played like 120 straight games or something?
Yeah, and doesn't go off.
Yeah.
Made like 1,200 tackles.
It's impressive.
The Sharks,
I've gone-
they kept the right Brayley.
Yeah, they sure did. I reckon, and you know what? I reckon he might be a smoky for Ashes jersey.
Kangaroos.
So
Yep.
Okay, props. Adam Fanor Blake, Utuika Manu, Papali, Tyrrell May, Payne Haas.
Joe Tapine suspended. Otherwise, he would have certainly been part of mine. I thought it was relatively easy. I know there's been a big push for Utuikamano over the back end of the year, but for mine, Tyrrell May was the best prop for the first half of the year and got through an incredible workload. Certainly helped turn the Tigers around. Should have played Origin. And Payne Haas is Payne Haas. He's ridiculous. He's a ridiculous prop forward. Like when he dived to save a loose ball, it was a grubber or ball that was bouncing around and saved a try on the weekend. You just don't see props do that.
No. Yeah.
I got to put AFB in there. He started off slow, but the second the second third, 2 and 3.
What about the final 2/3?
The final 2/3. Thank you. Man, I was really just
Gee, journalism school
Did
really
my-
worked out for you, Teddy. I
did
love it.
myself something proper there. He was very good for the Sharks. For the what were we
Who
saying?
are you putting in ahead of?
The final 2/3.
Who's he going in with?
Ahead of Tyrrell May.
Oh, well. I'm sticking with Teddy. I'm going Tyrrell May and Payne Haas. Obvious reasons. I think the big turnaround in the Tigers was Luai, but also Tyrrell May. 80 minutes almost every week as a front rower, and Payne Haas.
They missed the 8 again, though.
Speaks for itself. Yeah.
But vastly
They
improved.
don't have,
Wasn't his
they don't
fault.
have Nico Hines, Jesse Ramian, Bill Kennedy. Like, they don't have the same caliber of players as well. So,
Yep, fairly straightforward. Payne Haas, Tyrrell May.
Okay. Second rowers: Angus Crichton, Liam Martin, Ali Katoa, Leka Halasima, Hudson Young.
straightforward. Come on, Teddy.
I blew up deluxe that Jacob Preston was nominated, but it turned out he was suspended for 3 weeks. He would definitely go. Eli Katoa, absolute morale. It was one of the I think, most underrated secondary years around. Not only is the bloke scoring, 12, 13 tries, great in the air, runs great lines, gets to do 40 tackles and 120 metres a game. So, and I've gone with Hudson Young. I didn't love the other nominations. I thought Angus Crichton was nominated purely on reputation. I thought Angus Crichton had one of his worst years in first grade. He's a great player, Crichton. I thought he was very, very ordinary. There's no way Halcyon is part of the 5 best back rowers in the competition. Great player. We'll be talking about him later when it comes to rookie, but hard to go Hudson Young out of the nominations.
Yep.
Agreed.
Times 2 there for me.
You had liquor in, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
For us.
Didn't play enough games.
No, fair enough. Fair enough.
He couldn't get in the back row for half the Warriors games. I like how they've got rid of the best bench player as well. Jazz Tavanga got one award for best bench player. No one's ever heard of the award again since.
Wow. Locks: Aaron Clark, Isaiah Yeo, Nafahu White. Runaway league.
My favourite nomination list, because for once they didn't just go on big names. There were a couple of players who actually deserved it. And I've got Aaron Clark just shading Nafahu White. I thought Clark's form dipped a bit in the middle of the year, but he was without question the buy of the year for mine.
Yep.
But Nafahu White emerged as fringe first grader going into the comp to an absolute workhorse and a staple for the Roosters for years to come. Tell you probably signed to the rugby union next year. So Aaron Clark, just had a white.
Yep. I thought Clark, when you talk about dipping throughout the year, I think it was around that injury time when he sort of had the game figured out, and then he lost to Metcalf, he lost to Barnett, and then he had to sort of not reinvent himself, but obviously take a bit more of the load on.
Yeah.
So I definitely think, he might get a couple of awards. I don't know what else he's up for, but might get a couple.
Easy.
Yep. Rookie: Isaiah Iongi, Leke Halasima, and Robert Toya.
Halasima easily for one.
Yep.
We'll just talk about Robert Toya. Honestly, I don't recall him doing anything he got picked for Origin. He was solid enough. If he gets Rookie of the Year, this will be one of the rookies of the year that go on to do absolutely nothing with their career. Hal Seaman, he's like dynamic. Oh, you guys are over there. He's got to be one of the most popular players in New Zealand. Like he's not only a beast, but somehow has this charisma about him. Scores these amazing tries, like chips in Hal Seaman.
Put it this way, I took my daughter and some of her friends were in the sheds or just outside the sheds after the game, and I go get some things signed, and Roger walks past, Luke Metcalf, Mitch Barnett, all walk past, and then Lecker comes out, and they all go around Lecker and get it. I go, what about Roger? What about? And they all just wanted Lecker's signature. It was crazy for me to see, but that's how big he is over here.
Meanwhile,
it's his first year.
Like standing there waiting for Rog to sign a T-shirt for him.
Roger should be asking Blake for an autograph. Only one of them didn't betray rugby league and go to rugby union.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Captain Tedesco, Cleary, Crichton.
Weak list, I thought. Tapane would have given it to for sure, but again, I don't know why you ruled out a captain of the year for causing a suspension. I've got Nathan Cleary, just kind of pulling them from where they were. But it's hard to know because Isaiah Yo's been nominated for captain of the year for like most of the last few years. I'm not really sure how this co-captaincy thing works, but I'm going to give it to Cleary because there's no way Crichton gets it based on. Well, it's not really his fault, but I think the Dogs collapse has put a fair stink on it. And do I think he's the best captain of the lot? Yeah, I do. I think Crichton's the best captain of the lot, but I don't think that's how it works in these awards.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going like you. I didn't know Cleary was actually captain. I thought Isaiah Yo was. So there goes that. So I'm just going Crichton basically because he is the best captain, and I thought he did a good job, at least keeping it together for a little bit throughout the year to at least keep them in that 4. Like things could have derailed a lot worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever happened to the Dogs wasn't his fault, so I'm not critical of that at all. But I reckon what happened to the Dogs over the last 10 weeks have a huge impact on the number of awards they win.
Yeah, I got Cleary for the same reason. Bottom of the table, back to finals.
Crichton. Yeah,
okay.
I'm with Crichton.
And this one,
Sorry, Blake, I was okay with you until Paul agreed with you. Now I realise it's clearly wrong.
This one's my favourite. Can't wait to hear what Teddy thinks. Coach of the Year, Serraldo.
What a laughable nomination that is.
Your man, Michael Maguire and Ricky Stewart.
Luckily, this is one of the easiest awards to pick. Cameron Serraldo for what he did with the Sexton and dropping Marnie. I'm not sure if there were 16 nominations, should have made it. Appalling. I will give Maguire this. And I've been taking on the Broncos. I will give Maguire this. He's giving himself a handicap by hiring Trent Barrett as his assistant and still made a grand final. And he deserves plenty of credit. That could get you coach of the year. I'm not going to argue that. But it's hard to go past Ricky, isn't it? Like they were wooden spoon favourites for a good part of the pre-season. Yeah, they had copped an easy draw. Yeah, they completely bottled it when they got to the finals. But none of that really matters because he won a minor premiership and they were expecting to go badly. The only people who win this award is not the best coach, it's the coach who defied expectations the most. That should be the name of the award, and Ricky Stewart was it.
Easy winner.
Yeah. Craig Bellamy should be on this list every year.
Craig Bellamy should win this every year. Craig Bellamy should have won this for 15 of the last 20 years, and Nathan Cleary for maybe 4 or 5 of them. Sorry, Ivan Cleary.
Yes, yeah.
All right, give it to Nathan.
All righty. Good stuff.
Do you want your NRLW winners? Do you want your NRLW winners?
Yeah.
Well, no, hang on. Who's our overall Dally M?
Easy. Teddy by panel.
Yeah, Teddy.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Give us your NRLW ones, Teddy.
All right. Overall, Tamika Upton. Fullback Upton, amazing year. Probably better year than Teddy had in the NRL. Wingers, my girl, Peyton Takimoana, Georgia Rericks. Centers, Robinson. I found the other one hard. Maybe Isabel Kelly, just had Jess Surgis. Patricia Malepo, 5'8".
Nice.
So, of course, no one at the NRL will know who she is, so there should be 1,000 to 1 to win it, but she should get it. Halfback, only played 7 games, but won all of them, Taron Aitken. Hooker, Emma Manzelman from the Cowboys. Props, Rena Butler and Jess Elliston. Elliston had a great year for a proper ordinary team. Back rowers, Yasmin Clydesdale, Jasmine Strange. Lock, Olivia Cooney. Rookie of the year, Taki Moana. Captain, Isabel Kelly. And Coach John Strange, which would, if all those get up, give all 3 strangers a Dalian Award for the year. Should be something else.
That's good. Nice.
Also, John Strange should be in contention for any coaching job that comes up in the NRL. I don't say about any NRLW coach. He is so far better than what is in that comp. And he has done, well, there's 18 straight. I'm sure we'll talk about NRLW at some point. But, yeah, tremendous job.
Let's go betting. How did we go last week, Paul?
I cannot tell you.
What do you mean?
Well, the things have disappeared. I remember going through it and going, Carl, that's quite nice. Tony Staggs, yeah, very good. And I don't know where they've gone.
I haven't been here for a couple of weeks, and I thought things would have changed. I really thought things, like I had a good.
That's on you, Blake. That's on you.
I don't. Yeah, it is on me.
You had a pretty good week.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I know, because I was looking at the numbers and I thought, oh, gee, Carl, he's rocketing up the point. But
so what? Am I a chance of getting caught because I've had a couple
you're
of bad weeks?
You're gone.
I think you've been passed.
Yeah.
I'm up by like 300 on you.
Oh, yeah, but I think Carl might have gone past you as well.
Wow, a couple of bad weeks not on the show. But then again, we don't know if these bets are correct. So
Okay, so I guess we'll have to wait till after the grand final to find out who the winner is.
Perhaps, Paul, maybe just maybe for next week.
Yeah.
Maybe just have a look, maybe half an hour before the show. If they're not there, maybe then just check around. What did you have a bet on? Put the maths in.
Half an hour before the show, I was recording the Rugby Union podcast, which is very important. If you know, Teddy.
That's the
this is on Spotify listeners as well. So like Teddy, sorry, not Teddy, Paul. If you want to go on Spotify, you can find this and just listen back to the betting at the end of the show.
You can do it an hour, 2 hours before, Paul. Doesn't have to be the half an hour when you're recording your rugby. Just sometime in the 7 days before, and make sure they're on your computer.
There's a term I'd like to use right now. It contains 2 words, and I want to direct it straight at you, Teddy, but I won't because I'm not allowed to.
You can. We can cut it.
I think that the word you're after there, Paul, is thank you. So, my pleasure.
All righty then.
Half right.
Well, if I'm betting, we don't have the we're not going to talk about the worst betting bet of all time last week.
Give it to me.
Yep. Kayliro scoring that last try in the Melbourne Storm game with the line at minus 8.5. The game was over. It was so over they declined to kick a goal. Yet for some reason, with 20 seconds to go, they're rushing in to get a tap in, throwing it around like the game is on the line, and scoring against an almost unmarked Kayliro. I have still barely got my voice back. I was all right. Let's head to the gap. This is not good. This is the worst beat of all time.
What about the 11-20 I had? The Storm win between 11 and 20. They're up by 12.
We were collecting the cash. The cash. It was as sick a beat as you will ever have. I once had a game where I had the over points in a Samoa-Tonga game, and the game got called off early. The game got called off early because fans ran onto the field at Campbelltown with 5 minutes to go with a shot next to the post, and the over didn't get up. This might have beaten it. It was that bad and that irrelevant. Like, I'm still disgusted.
Congratulations.
To quote the great Jeff Tuvey, there's got to be an investigation.
Congratulations to those punters who took the Sharks plus 8.5 and took the Storm to win by 1-10. Oh, gee.
It's not funny. This is not the humorous part of the podcast.
Hey, we get the ball back, though. The Penrith halftime, Broncos full-time. We get
no, some of us had Penrith minus 2.5, and we top that off with having Casey McLean any time, of which I'm jumping up and down when he's running away untouched for 100 metres, and then no one's chasing him.
I think it was a fan reaction.
At least you made a bit of money on the golf, Teddy, so don't worry about it.
All right. So we'll crown a winner next week.
We will. There will be a winner.
I need to know how much I've got to chase.
I
All my
will-
bets
I'll-
this
I
week
was
have-
minus 150 last week, Carl. So I'll throw the hands up. I was no good last week.
I must have been up about 100.
Are we still?
You up
am I
more than
still in the
100.
pluses?
Okay.
Are we in the pluses still?
I don't think you
Teddy is.
Oh, yeah, I think you've gone to negatives. But
You're
I was 500 up.
you
Jeez.
No, you were.
800
Wow.
Yeah, you were up big
800
time.
collapse.
You started playing with a straight bat. You should have, keep
Yeah.
doing what got you to 800. You changed your 4. I don't know why. You were on a good thing there.
your best bets of $8. No, it's in the $1.62 shots.
Yeah.
Come on, mate.
All right. Okay. We'll get that. We'll wrap that up next week. We're going to go top 10s. One of my favorites. Been holding on to this all year. Top 10 grand final tries in the NRL era.
Yep.
Please.
No. All mine from not there earlier.
We've got to be able to go back and watch the highlights. These young kids have got to be able to go back.
They've all got highlights. They've all got highlights.
Teddy, do you want to kick us off?
Great Australian grand final history. There's not even in doubt. There's no question about it. Steve Gearin, 1980. Greg Bretnell bombs from halfway. Gearin fully stretched out. Dies, wins Canterbury's first premiership in 38 years. Steve Gearin tops every list I've found online.
He was like Superman, wasn't he? When he
Like Superman. It was
yeah.
horizontal. And these days when people catch bombs, it's like commonplace. Catching a bomb on the run in 1980 was like,
Yeah.
speaking Yiddish.
That's
Doesn't happen there. But
I actually remember that
You remember
one.
that one, Blake?
Yeah, I've seen highlights, but I can't say I was watching the game because I wasn't doing.
neither was I.
I was.
Paul had his
Happy
40th.
50th, Paul.
Blake, what do you got?
Just the obvious one, the Benji flick. I thought as a try, listen to him speak about it. What had happened. Obviously, Travis Norton come out of the line. There was a gap there, and then just for a young kid to throw a flick pass like that, I think brought fame to him. But I think the Tigers are still living off that. I know a lot of people are still living off Benji Marshall flick passes and tries, and that was a big one in the GF.
I got a hot
You
take.
got a what?
A semi-hot take. Wow. That might not have been the best try in the game.
Yeah, there was another good one in there.
That first try of the game, Matty Bowen, was pretty electric. But yeah, I don't disagree with the Benji flick pass, Pat Richards being on the list.
I'm going to go 1989 grand final. I'm going to go Chicka Ferguson and his try that tied the game all up, I think it was, and forced it into OT.
Was that the step back?
Yes, he was so good on his feet.
I only played 10 years in the comp, Chicker, but it was unbelievable.
One of my faves, Chicka Ferguson.
I'm going to go a bit more recent. 2009, Fui Mui Mui. Individual brilliance. Steamrolled about 6 players, scores in the corner. At that point, I thought Eels were a chance of a wee comeback. Spoiler, they did not win. But the try line, pretty good.
Don't even remember it.
Have fun. One time, have fun.
I don't give Rugby Union a break, and I won't give the Parramatta Eels a break. So,
Wow.
I'm going back to the 1989 grand final as well. Greatest game ever played, and Steve Jackson's rampaging try in that grand final that secured Raiders' first premiership, where his backup, fat, plodding prop became Superman. 20 metres out, had 5 players hanging off him. He's pushing Balmain Tigers left and right and crashes over for the 1940. It often is given more importance than it actually was because Canberra led at the time and now missed the conversion, so I didn't actually wrap it up. But boy, oh boy, it's a try. And if you're ever at the pub and you've had 10 schooners and you get into a game of let's recreate great grand final tries, there is nothing better to recreate than that one because you're knocking into everyone. You're flooring it. FY, great game to play at the pub.
Like Carl, it's a hot take because I think that wasn't even the best try in the game. I thought Ciro in the first half with the
Great
they
try.
put the bomb up,
Oh.
bounce back,
The
bang,
big
bang, bang.
talk
I
about
would,
running
love, I
off.
would love the 3 tries from the same grand final to be in there.
Well, I guess we've found the greatest grand final of all time.
Anyone who argues otherwise is a goddamn idiot.
Me next. I'm going. A lot of mine are theme based, as in it's very hard to do. Now, obviously, mine's Billy Slater against the Dogs, 2012. They had a play, and if you hear them talk about it, they always targeted Ryan Hoffman, kept leading inside shoulder. I think it was to Hodgkinson or Reynolds, and then this one time he faded on the outside, which took Hodgkinson or Reynolds out with him, opened up the gap, and usually, or Cooper Cronk's just thrown the ball up and left it there, and Slater's hit that gap and gone straight through. But for me, it was sort of like the chess move. They just set it up, and then went to it. And I think it's a great rugby league play because it's so hard to pull off and sort of predict what's going to happen. So that was my one, Slater against the Doggies in 2012.
I'm going to go Stacey Jones against the Roosters in 2002. It was one of the great individual tries, the only one that the Wars scored, but he took on the whole Roosters team, and he made it look so simple. He just seemed to glide into space and then beat some of the best players in NRL history. That was just Stacey Jones at his best.
It was right on half time too, wasn't it?
Yep, just to take the score to what?
Tell you what,
8-6.
The amount of hope.
Oh, I was at the Wellington Sports Cafe. I tell you what, we all went up thinking, game on.
Yeah, I was at that game, very scared. Obviously, Roosters jacket on. Warriors were coming.
With the Roosters too busy, I think the Roosters might be too busy trying to beat the hell out of Richard Villasanti to notice Stacey running.
Villa the Gorilla. Very good. I'm going to go George Burgess, 2014. Another steamrolling prop, skittling players scoring under the post. Oh, hang on. Blake's not happy about this.
Yeah.
I can't remember it, sorry.
Yeah.
You what?
I'm just going to put a veto on that. It's against the Dogs and I don't remember it, so I was there. Veto.
You don't... Whatever.
Look, I've got a couple from the 60s that I really would want to put in, but I feel like I won't put this in, but go back and have a look at Johnny King's try for the 1964 grand final week. Graham Langland's caught the ball, hanging over touchline, made a long diagonal run, and then sent Johnny King over at the other end of the field. But we'll go more recent for Carl's sake. I feel I'm treading on thin ice. So I'm going to go 1999, Nathan Blacklock's collecting of the chip of the kick on his toes and bursting through like I've never seen someone burst through a hole and go all the way. How the Dragons think you want to win it after, I don't know, but Nathan Blacklock's try in 1999.
I was actually at this game as well, went back-to-back grand finals, and the Roosters in 2004, I think it might have been the first try.
Chris Walker.
Freddie Fittler has kicked a ball off his left foot on the run and hit Chris Walker on the inside, on the full.
Yeah.
He gets the Dogs to open up. And now, like I said, mine's theme-based. If you want to go down the park and try and kick it left-footed on the run or on your wrong foot on the run back inside to someone bursting on the ball, it is so hard to do when no one's there watching. Well, picture 100,000 people, grand final, and Freddie Fittler with the left foot. So Carl obviously thinks he could do it, but I have seen you at the Warriors trials, and let's just say you didn't get the nod of approval.
Neither did you, pal. And you played.
I did it. That's why I admire it.
That was a good try.
Oh, I'm sure Freddie enjoyed it. I'm sure Freddie enjoyed lifting the premiership trophy as a farewell at the end of the game.
I'm going to go Kyle Felt, 2015, in the corner. Hot potato. Michael. How good was Michael Morgan as a player?
Highly underrated at his peak, Michael Morgan. I don't think his peak was last that long, but like first 3 or 4 years, you can make a case he was a top 5 player in the game.
Like he carried, obviously with Tom Alola, but carried them to that 2017 grand final.
Oh, his performance that year, that semi-final was incredible.
Yeah, but yeah, the flick pass, he beat a few players like that. Good try. And
while we're on Kyle Felt, do you want to say that might have been a high point of Kyle Felt's career? Do you want to see the low point of Kyle Felt's career? 2 weeks ago. Kyle Felt got stepped inside. No one touched him. He went down, acting like he'd been hit high. No one was with him, and then got sent to the sin bin for just taking
Yeah, tried to milk it. I rate that.
What was it? Ghost tackle.
Ghost tackle.
I feel like we've got about 15 tries there, so good list of top 10.
Good list. Some good ones left out too.
All right, let's go to the good, the bad, and the ugly for this week. I'll kick things off with the good, plain and simple. Grand final week. Very excited. Love grand final week. Feels like it's been a long year, a long time ago since we were in Vegas, Blake.
Oof.
But just excited. Excited for the grand final. Paul?
My good Teddy stats. I think he said something. It was a very, very big weighting towards teams that have the week off prior to the preliminary finals.
You're talking about
Teddy.
this Teddy?
Yeah, Teddy stats.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We're talking about Tedesco.
No, they were superb. I think in the end, it was almost like I think one of them was 10-0. The teams that have the week off leading into the prelim final, a 10-0 or something, either straight up or against the spread. I'm not sure, but I just thought that was sense.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear the stats around if the team plays first preliminary final, who wins most of the time there. Like obviously
in the grand final
this week. Yeah, but my good's just the Broncos-Panthers game. That was an amazing game of footy, and yeah, it helped that won some money on it, but it was just good that I guess the Broncos, the way they came back, no Carrigan as well, like that's huge. I just thought everything about the game was good, and look, you're not going to catch this too often, so clip it up. But Atkins actually had a good game.
Whoa!
My mum's become quite the rugby league nut this season, and
they live in Mrs. Tyler.
Yeah, they live in Brisbane, so she's a Dolphins fan, but she was supporting the Broncos the other night. And she was texting me like, "Are you watching this game? It's so good."
Are you
watching
down this game?
They're 14-0 down, and I said, "Mate, if you're kidding yourself if you think the Broncos win this." As soon as full-time whistle, phone rings. What did you say? What did you say? All right, Mum, settle down.
Good on you. Loving that.
My good, similar fan, the Broncos' resilience. First loss in 99 games for the Panthers when they've led by 12 or more.
It's unreal. That is unreal.
Since 2020, so end of an era, Penrith, but I've been knocking Brisbane. I've been knocking them all year. I've been knocking them before the season. I've got one more chance to take them on, otherwise they're really going to put me to the sword. But it's hard not to do. They literally played Tyson Smoothie at lock in a preliminary final and trailed by Penrith by 12 and won. That's ridiculous. He's terrible.
That's this season. That's this season of NRL. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
So Brisbane's resilience one.
All right, my bad. We've kind of touched. I've changed the order of this run sheet, so I've kind of touched on this. It was some of the nominations for Dally M, but I'm going to change it on the fly. And I don't know I can't remember who the reporter was, but his question to Ivan Cleary, how does it feel now that it's all over? And then Cleary just sitting there deadpanning him like, what's over? Whoa. And he's on the back foot straight away. It was a bad question, but it was a good outcome. I loved it. It was quite funny.
My bad's just come in probably the last 20 minutes. Obviously been busy the last 2 weeks and just realised I've gone from champion almighty of the advantage line to in the minus. So I'm just sort of regathering myself and looking through some of my betting slips that we'll go through shortly.
Welcome to the club.
Bad for me was Ashley Klein's refereeing on Friday night against the Storm Sharks game. His pedantic refereeing completely ruined that game. It was disgraceful. It's good he's finally been held to account and dropped for the grand final, but it's a shame it's taken this long because that pedantic officiating was absolutely appalling. I'm not saying I favoured one team or the other. It just ruined a spectacle. That should have been. And fair play, Blake mentioned earlier. Atkins just let the first game go, let the second game go, let the best teams decide it, and it just wasn't the case in the first one.
But what was in the Broncos game?
Well, after clearly got tackled in the air when he was kicking,
Yeah,
and then
but like
he did good because that
in the season though, there's like 4 people in the bin out.
Klein sent a guy in the bin 2 weeks ago for antagonising someone. So how someone didn't get sent to the bin this week? I'm glad they didn't. But if that precedent was set, so how Klein didn't get dropped after that is beyond me.
But you know what he did good on the weekend, Atkins, was if you go back and watch it, the first kick of the game, I think Reynolds gets hit late or someone gets hit, and they don't give a penalty for that. But then later in the game, obviously we see Cleary get hit. So I'm glad that he stuck to his guns and didn't penalise.
Again, I've put a good spin on ugly. Utuika Manu calling out Broncos players. Love it. Should fire a few people up, cause some chaos in the grand final. I just hope it's not like Origin and they don't kick to him or he doesn't get it and it's all
Well, it's not like Origin, because if it was like Origin, Utuika Manu will run for about 40 metres and miss key tackles and not be fit enough to get back on side.
Really?
Wow. Sorry, I've set him up for an absolute drive-by there.
Don't worry, Carl's like South Central LA in the early 1990s when it comes to drive-bys with me.
Snoop Doggy Dogg.
We're off the rails. Go, give us your ugly, Paul.
I'm going to go. They've got to be a lot more consistent and I think harsher on that third man in tackle. I think, was it Willison who did it in the preliminary final? Just attacked the legs.
Should have been.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
That was bad.
It seems like they wait to see how badly injured the player is before they sort of make a decision at times. And
injury should have nothing. The injury should have nothing to do with it.
No, it should be
intent.
It's this tackle is dangerous. It should be outlawed, and if you attempt it, then there should be consequences straight away. Because I don't want to see a player pick up a horrible injury like that.
My ugly is it's obviously around the 2 days extra rest, but I think we should follow the NFL in having that week off and the build up, because I think the AFL used to do it. They haven't done it now, but one player missed because of a concussion.
Scott Sorensen would have missed if it was if Parramatta made a grand final.
No, didn't he pass his HIA?
He did pass it, but they still would have had to go on for an I think exemption, yeah. But I think with that extra week, you go to your point, Carl, Utuika Manu, you're going to get a bit more build up to the game. You're going to get the theatre. You're going to get the shit talk. There'll be teams getting to study each other a bit longer. I just think that the theatre we could build around it for those extra week and a half, it would be massive. So that would be mine. Plus, we wouldn't see players missing games. So maybe at their best with the week's rest.
I'm generally a fan of Peter V'landys. I think he's done a good job for rugby league, especially putting it in the position it should be as Australia's number one sport and probably the global football code of choice. But one thing he's lost the plot on is the lack of betting around certain things, and the no betting on the Dalian medal or the state championship is a complete and utter disgrace. Aussie rules is virtually impossible to watch. It's like watching a bunch of seagulls fight over a chip. But the Brownlow rule is one of the great betting great betting experiences of all time. You can bet on who's on the top team, top position. You can bet on who's going to get the 3 votes in every game throughout the entire year. It is a feast for the senses. I don't even watch the sport and I'm betting on it every game. It's amazing to bet on. The fact we can't do that in rugby league is an absolute disgrace. It means the viewership for the Dalian medal is about 1/10 of what it is for the Brownlow. They've missed the plot there. And then not being able to bet on a game on grand final day, I have absolutely heard it all now.
Interesting fact I learned, Teddy, the other day listening to a podcast. Do you know the umpires are the ones that judge the 3-2-1s for AFL?
Yeah, I know. How crazy is that? Yeah.
That is insane.
Let's move on. Let's have a look at the game. Melbourne Storm $1.70. Brisbane Broncos $2.15. The line 2.5. The total 40.5. I've got some Clive Churchill medalists here. Munster $6. Harry Grant $7. Walsh $7. Haas $7.50. Jerome Hughes $8. Teams unchanged, or Kerrigan's back in for the Broncos. She's going to be a good one. Teddy, I am sure you've got 1,000 stats to throw at us here.
Real key stuff here at the top of the thing. Attacking defensive rankings here. Storm, third best attack. Broncos, second best attack. Storm, second best defense. Broncos, seventh best defense. That will be important soon. Head-to-heads, Melbourne have won 17 of the last 19, 14 of those by double digits. They've scored 32 plus in 9 of the last 11 since 2008, 27 and 10 against the spread, the Broncos, the Storm. Brisbane have not won 2 in a row against the Storm since 2003, 2004.
Jeez.
They've won the last game. 6 of the last 10 have been 52 plus, 9 of the last 13 over. These guys have played remarkably in 9 finals. They've played in 1998, every year from 2004 to 2009, 2017, 2023. Storm 6-3 in those. Broncos won the only grand final, 15-8 in 2006. The last final, Broncos won 26-0 in 2003. But 3 of the 5 last finals wins have been 30-plus wins to the Storm. Some grand final numbers here that I think are well worth noting. Only the 2005 Tigers and 2015 Cowboys in the last 20 years have ranked 4th or worse defensively and won the premiership. And neither of those teams played a top 2 defensive side. When there's a differential of 3 or more in the rankings in your defence, they had Storm 2nd, Broncos 7th. 3 of the 4 grand finals have been decided by margins of 16 or more to the better defensive team. The outsiders covered 6 of the last 10 grand finals. Not a huge edge there, but the under is 10-3 in the last 13. 9 of the last 11 have gone 40 or fewer. Only 3 NRL grand finals of the NRL era have reached 50 points. Only 3 grand finals in the NRL era have seen both teams get to 20. So, looking at some team totals there would be the way to look there. Some team stuff. We've got the Storm have covered 9 of the last 15 against top 4 teams. 8 of the last 11 are scoring 22 or fewer. The knock on them, they've covered is 41% at night the last 4 seasons. They've covered 1 of 7 at the core. 3 of their last 11 interstate. Those of the Broncos are fantastic, actually. They've covered 12 of 14. 20 of 33 as an underdog. Covered 4 of 6 at a core. I'm going back to the grand final stats. I think the Storm are good things in the grand final. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win big. I don't think this will be a close grand final. 9 of the last 20 grand finals have been decided by 13 or more. And that's when the favourites won those. So if a favourite wins, they tend to win big. So before we get to the Clive Churchill stuff, we'll go around the room, I guess. But yeah, Storm by plenty for me based on those stats. And the one that really got me was the better defensive team usually wins. And when it's an elite defensive team against someone, they always win.
Did you say morals?
Yeah, let's go. Morals.
That's all I needed. That's it.
I'm with the Storm this week too, and I wonder. I read your stats, Teddy, and that was obviously a big tick. But I wonder if the Broncos played their grand final last week,
The week before,
or the week before, like absolutely spent against Canberra, won in the 167th minute, and then to come back from 12 down or 14 down or whatever it was against the Panthers last week would have taken a whole heap of energy. They will be gassed. Craig Bellamy, 11th grand final. He knows what he's doing.
Record for a coach.
Yeah, unbelievable.
They've got 15 players backed up from last year's grand final as well.
And I think there's 7 in the Broncos team from 20.
8 for the Broncos now.
Yeah, I'm with the Storm. I'm sensing Blake's not.
No, I am. I obviously picked him at the start of the year. I just worried a bit the way the Broncos. Like if we look at the 2 games this year, so the Broncos were the better team for 15 minutes in Melbourne until they lost both their halves. They were winning that game, the territory battle. They were looking better, and then we seen what they did that last round. Obviously, Jerome Hughes got injured, so I give the Broncos a chance, but I am with the Storm, and the reason I'm with the Storm is because I think they're going to have experience, and I'm assuming that Atkins is going to referee that game how he did the Broncos Penrith one. Now, there's no better team at controlling ruck speed than the Melbourne Storm. It's been proven for the last 20 years. So for me, I think their spine originally has just more game experience, big game experience together. Plus, I think with that referee appointment, if Atkins does referee the same game as he did last week, I think it just suits the Storm perfectly. They got big boys who can run over you, and their halves and their spine players. They just pick points, and they will have the Broncos figured out, I think. I'm not on the lines of Teddy as if it's going to be a blowout. I do think it's going to be unders, though, as I look back the last 25 years, and I think it's 19-6. So, the unders is definitely the play for me here, but I think the Storm win it. Those factors I spoke about.
I was already favouring the Storm. I might tweak some of my bets now that Teddy's come out with those stats. I really, really do love the Storm now. They've got the band back together, Pappenhausen, Munster, Hughes, Harry Grant. Everything else revolves around those guys. And the fact that they are the second best defensive team, you hear it every year. Defense wins your grand finals. Well, there's a glaring stat that just goes to back up that saying. I'm all over the Storm.
Can't win.
Broncos fans, you can thank me later.
All right.
Just some Clive Churchill.
Your stuff, yep.
Yeah. Clive Churchill is one of the easiest things to bet on. If you can rule out a lot of players from the get-go.
Very, very similar to Origin, right?
Yep.
In terms of
even easier than Origin. So here's just some stats for it. Of the last 39 winners, 36 have played Origin or Test football prior to winning. Test football for a Tier 1 nation. There have been 4 winners from a losing team. So you're generally looking from the winning team. No one's ever won back-to-back. 3 players have won it twice. No winger or centre has ever won the award. I put a line through. I don't care what the 3 put a line through it to Tony Staggs. Put a line through Xavier Coates. Can't win. Just some position numbers. Fullback, 7 winners. 3 in the last decade, last 2022. 5'8", 4 winners. 2 in the last decade, last 2019. Halfback, 12 winners. 3 in the last decade, last 2023. Hooker, 2 winners. None in the last decade. The last, 2006. There's a lot of Cameron Smith being passed up on. There's a lot of good hookers who have not won the award. I'm saying...
Who was that? Sean Berrigan?
Sean Berrigan.
No, he would have been.
Who robbed Darren Lockyer.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying put a line through Harry Grant. I'm saying Harry Grant's severe unders. No, 3 props have won it. None in the last decade. The last, Brent Kite, 2008. Lock, 6 winners. None in the last decade. Last in 2014. I'm saying put a line through the middles. Second rower, 5 winners. 2 in the last decade. Last, Liam Martin, last year, 2024. So, by my reckoning, you've got 4, maybe 5 players who can win it. If you're heavy on the Storm. You've got Cameron Munster, you've got Jerome Hughes, you've got Trent Liero, you've got Harry Grant, and depending on whether you count, I think he plays for Tonga as a Tier 1 nation, Eli Katoa. I'm happy to put a line, so that putting a line through former winner Brian Pappenhausen, who's one of the people who defied it before. I also don't think he's done that well, so happy to put a line through. The big lay here is Harry Grant, who's the 6-door favourite. Very to take him on. I'm not sure Munster's going that well. So my bets will be Jerome Hughes, loading up on Jerome Hughes. My Dally-M, 10 test matches for the Kiwis, clear sound for me. I'll be having something on Eli Katoa, I think about $19. Small is playing well. And I don't like this player at all, but just because he fits the thing, I'll be having a little something on Trent Liero. So that'll be my 3 bets. Now, if you like Brisbane, yeah, you're going to get some the other way. Reece Walsh would fit the criteria. Hunt would fit the criteria. Reynolds would fit the criteria. Carrigan, Haas would all fit the criteria. Ricky would probably fit the criteria too. But I think they're going to get flogged, so I'm leaving all Broncos out and going with the Storm. So that's my data around the Clive Churchill Medal.
Quickly around the game, just one more before we pass on. Do we think the Broncos are going to start with the same lineup they did, even though they've named it? Because they looked a hell of a lot better when Ezra Mam came on and Ben Hunt played hooker.
I can't. I would be stunned if they did, but it would not surprise me. Maguire's so belligerent that he would do that. But like, they're a different team with Mam on the field, and like after his last grand final, how do you not play him for? How do you not play him for 8 minutes? I don't understand how that would work.
All right. Should do some betting. I feel like I've found the bet of the round, but you've just thrown a small spanner into my thinking around the makeup of the team. But I still think it stands. My best bet: 30 plus tackles. Ben Hunt at $2.30.
That's a good bet.
Got 38 last week when he moved to the middle. He's going to spend a lot of time in the middle. He's going to spend a lot of time on the field. 30 plus at $2.30 for Ben Hunt. My try scorer, Willie Warbrick, $2.25.
Can we have an extra bet this week?
Are you going to track it?
Touche. A Clive Churchill medal winner bet on top of our 4 usual bets.
Sure.
I've got to go find another bet now. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I thought you might have had that slotted in somewhere.
I already had the Clive Churchill too, so change that.
Same game multi. Storm win, Hunt 30 plus tackles, Warbrick and Katoa 2 plus combined tries at 10.28. And then anything else, Jerome Hughes anytime into Storm 13 plus at $9.75. And I'll take Jerome Hughes as Clive Churchill.
Best bet, Melbourne Storm 13 or more at $3.60. Try scorer, I'm going to go with Harry Grant to score a try at $4.75. Same game, multi, Harry Grant to score a try. The Broncos to score under 18.5 points. And Xavier Coates to score 2 or more tries. Comes out at $38.74.
Trying to save the season all in one.
This is it. There's nothing else after this, is there?
Only a month of Pacific Championships, Paul. That's fine.
First try scorer for my anything bet, and it will be Xavier Coates. And my Clive Churchill winner. I think back to last year's one where it was a tight, low-scoring affair. And who was it? Liam Martin, who picked up the award. I'm looking for someone who's going to make quite a few tackles and maybe do a bit of donkey work. So I'm going with Luero to be the Clive Churchill medal winner.
Talk about using your own stats against you.
Go, Teddy.
Best bet, Melbourne minus $2.5, Try scorer, Jerome Hughes, $4.75. Scored 12 tries in his last 13 games against the Broncos. Same game multi, Storm 13 plus, under 19.5 first half points. Will Warbrick try 11.45. Any other, Harry Grant, top of his group, is a group of 6 for most tackles, $2.65. And Clive Churchill medal, Jerome Hughes, $8.
Bring it home, Blake.
Just had to add a few more with my Clive Churchill was actually in my anything else, but we go best bet the Storm 1 to 12, $2.75. Try scorer Katoa, $2.70. Same game multi, a bit of a long one. Teddy stats added to it. Jordan Ricky 40 tackles, under 40.5. Jerome Hughes to score. The Melbourne Storm to score under 21.5 and the Broncos to score under 18.5. $26. Yeah, a lot there. Not much price, but
the stats aiming for a bullseye there.
Well, I'm going. Everything's big this week after finding that. Anything else? I've got Hunt 30 tackles.
Oh, he.
Katoa, first, second, or third try scorer, and the Storm, and that was $10. And my Clive
Panic
Churchill
at
was
the,
also
there's panic at the disco here.
Oh.
There was like,
It's great to see.
And Jerome Hughes was also my Clive Churchill. Yeah, the bets were smaller, still big but small, and they got even bigger once I found out the news.
Just to clarify, there's $25 going on the Clive Churchill medal winner.
you're not going to catch me picking the same player there, Blake. You want to reconsider that Clive Churchill medal?
No,
I'm surprised Paul didn't
doesn't
take two Ikaba Kamika.
He doesn't have to catch you. He's got to catch me. All right. That'll do us for the grand final preview. Thank you very much, fellas. Thank you to the listeners, to the viewers, to everyone out there. We'll be back next week to review the grand final and, much to Paul's surprise, preview the Pacific Championships.